Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today we're going to do the vocabulary review sentences for the anchor text and biography Helen Keller. This is from second grade Journeys, lesson 14. So for this lesson, you will need a pencil and a piece of paper, and you're going to write numbers 1 to 16. Or your teacher might have given you this worksheet, and if so, you can get this worksheet that already has the numbers 1 to 16 and the sentences on it. So if you need to, push pause, get your materials, and then when you're ready, push play. So let's go over our learning target. I can use pictures and context clues to fill in the word that best fits each sentence. Success criteria, that means how will you know you're successful at using pictures and context clues to choose the word that best fits the sentence? Well, here are our steps to success. I will, number 1, read each sentence or group of words. 2, choose the vocabulary word that best fits each sentence. 3, write the correct word on my paper or whiteboard. So you don't need to write these words. We're just going to preview them. A is knowledge. B, curious. C, motion. E, silence. E, illness. F, imitated. G, darkness. H, behavior. So these are the words to choose from. Number 1, I had a temperature and chills when I came down with an blank. I had a temperature and chills when I came down with an illness, or I had a temperature and chills when I came down with an imitated. I had a temperature and chills when I came down with an darkness, or I had a temperature and chills when I came down with a behavior. So what makes sense given our context clues, where the word is in the sentence, and the picture? Illness. So make sure you write illness for number 1, ILLNES, illness. I had a temperature and chills when I came down with an illness. I had a temperature and chills when I came down with an illness. Number 2, when I was little, I was afraid to sleep in total blank. When I was little, I was afraid to sleep in total illness. When I was little, I was afraid to sleep in total imitated. When I was little, I was afraid to sleep in total darkness. When I was little, I was afraid to sleep in total behavior. What makes sense given our picture clues and the context of where the word is in the sentence? Darkness. When I was little, I was afraid to sleep in total darkness. Darkness is spelled DARKNESS. The root word is dark. When I was little, I was afraid to sleep in total darkness. Number 3, I looked ridiculous when I blank how a penguin walked. I looked ridiculous when I blank how a penguin walked. When I illness how a penguin walked. When I imitated how a penguin walked. When I darkness how a penguin walked. Or when I behavior how a penguin walked. Imitated. Imitate is the root word. Imitated means it already happened. I look ridiculous when I imitated how a penguin walked. And it says up at the picture, keep your center of gravity on one leg. Keep your center of gravity on one leg instead of moving both. Keep your center of gravity on one leg like a penguin. Number 4, I go to school to gain blank of different subjects. I go to school to gain knowledge of different subjects. I go to school to gain curious of different subjects. I go to school to gain motion of different subjects, or I go to school to gain silence of different subjects. What makes sense given the context of where the word is in the sentence and our picture clues? Knowledge. The root word is to know, K-N-O-W, know. I go to school to gain knowledge or to know more about different subjects. I go to school to gain knowledge of different subjects. Number 5, what goes with nighttime and shadows? Look at those picture clues and the words. What goes with nighttime and shadows? Would it be illness goes with nighttime and shadows? Imitated goes with nighttime and shadows. Darkness goes with nighttime and shadows. Or behavior goes with nighttime and shadows. Darkness. Darkness goes with nighttime and shadows. Darkness. The root word is dark, and all those pictures are dark. Darkness goes with nighttime and shadows. Number 6, deaf people live in a world of blank. Deaf people live in a world of knowledge. Deaf people live in a world of curious. Deaf people live in a world of motion. Deaf people live in a world of silence. What makes sense given our picture clues and where the word is in the sentence, the context? Silence. S-I-L-E-N-C-E. Deaf people live in a world of silence. Deaf people live in a world of silence because they cannot hear. Number 7, what goes with acts and manners? An acts would be helping others, eat politely, share, raise your hand. And when you use manners, you say thank you and please. So, what goes with acts and manners? Would it be illness? Goes with acts and manners. Imitated goes with acts and manners. Darkness goes with acts and manners. Or behavior goes with acts and manners. Well, it's behavior because you can have positive behavior or negative behavior. It can be positive acts or negative acts. Positive behavior is more using manners. So behavior, behavior, behavior. Number 8, puppies are often blank and end up in trouble because of it. Puppies are often knowledge and end up in trouble because of it. Puppies are often curious and end up in trouble because of it. Puppies are often motion and end up in trouble because of it. Or puppies are often silence and end up in trouble because of it. Well, that dog fell in the toilet because he was curious and probably thirsty because he wanted to drink the water. So, puppies are often curious and end up in trouble because of it. Curious. Curious. They're very interested in the world around them. Number 9, what goes with copied and very similar? What goes with copied and very similar? Does illness go with copied and very similar? Imitated Does that go with copied and very similar? Darkness, does that go with copied and very similar? Or behavior, does that go with behavior goes with copied and very similar. So what would make sense given our picture clues and our synonyms? Imitated. To imitate means to copy. So imitated goes with copied and very similar, and the root word is imitate. And imitated means it's already done in the past. Imitated. Imitated. Number 10. The police officer gave my mom the blank to stop. The police officer gave my mom the blank to stop. The police officer gave my mom the knowledge to stop. The police officer gave my mom the curious to stop. The police officer gave my mom the motion to stop. Or the police officer gave my mom the silence to stop. What makes sense given our picture clues and where the word is in the sentence? Motion, because the police officer is showing you a motion with her hands or his hands. The police officer gave my mom the motion to stop. Motion. Motion. Number 11. What goes with sick and medicine? Does illness go with sick and medicine? Imitated go with sick and medicine? Darkness goes with sick and medicine? Or behavior goes with sick and medicine? What goes with those two words given our picture clues and the synonyms? Illness. An illness is when you are sick. Illness, when you are ill. Illness. Illness goes with sick and medicine, because to be ill is also to be sick. And you may take medicine to help you get better. All right, number 12. What goes with interested and asking questions? What goes with interested and asking questions? Would it be knowledge, curious, motion, or silence? So does knowledge mean interested in asking questions? Does curious mean interested in asking questions? Motion, does that mean interested in asking questions? Or silence? Well, this is a tough one, because if you're interested, you may gain knowledge, and if you ask questions, you may gain knowledge. But when you are interested in asking questions, that means you are curious. And if you look at our picture clues, the dog is curious with the magnifying glass, just like Curious George is using binoculars. So, curious goes with interested and asking questions. Number 13, what goes with quiet and hush? What goes with quiet and hush? Does knowledge go with quiet and hush? Curious goes with quiet and hush. Motion goes with quiet and hush. Or silence goes with quiet and hush. What goes with quiet and hush? Silence goes with quiet and hush. Silence goes with quiet and hush. Number 14, what goes with facts and understanding information? What goes with facts and understanding information? Would it be knowledge goes with facts and understanding information? Curious goes with facts and understanding information? Motion goes with facts and understanding information? Or silence goes with facts and understanding information? Knowledge. Knowledge is gaining facts and understanding information. Knowledge means to know. Knowledge. Knowledge. When you have knowledge, it means you understand or know. You have facts. Number 15, my parents expect me to have good blank at school. My parents expect me to have good illness at school. My parents expect me to have good imitated at school. My parents expect me to have good darkness at school. Or my parents expect me to have good behavior at school. What makes sense given our picture clues and where the word is in the sentence, the context? It's behavior. 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 My parents expect me to have good behavior at school. My parents expect me to have good behavior at school. Last one. What goes with movement and action? What goes with movement and action? Does knowledge go with movement and action? Curious goes with movement and action. Motion go with movement and action? Or silence goes with movement and action? Motion, because when you are in motion, you are moving and you are acting. Motion, Motion. Motion goes with movement and action because motion is when you are moving. Motion. All right, now it's time to check your work. Check your work with mine. Number 1, illness. Number 2, darkness. Number 3, imitated. Number 4, knowledge. Number 5, darkness. Number 6, silence. Number 7, behavior. Number 8, curious. Number 9, imitated. Number 10, motion. Number 11, illness. Number 12, curious. Number 13, silence. Number 14, knowledge. Number 15, behavior. Number 16, motion. So if you need to make any changes, push pause, write your changes, and then when you're ready to join me, push play. Nice work, you've mastered your vocabulary words. Let's reflect on the top of your page. Remember our learning target. I can use pictures and context clues to fill in the word that best fits each sentence. Would you give yourself a 4? I could teach this lesson. I easily selected all the correct vocabulary words that fit each sentence. Would you give yourself a 3? I was able to select most of the correct vocabulary words that fit each sentence. Or would you give yourself a 2? I was able to select some of the correct vocabulary words that fit each sentence. Or 1, I was not able to select any of the correct vocabulary words that fit each sentence. So write your reflection: 4, 3, 2, or 1. Thank you, boys and girls, for reviewing the vocabulary words with me for lesson 14 and our biography, Helen Keller. Have a great day.